Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jody. I realize that I don't introduce myself. Sometimes I do. Usually I don't because I just think that you know me. So today I wanted to share a little bit about my postpartum journey after having Dash, keeping in the theme of talking about being plant-based and pregnant. I think I mentioned this maybe yesterday or the first day, but I didn't have like this easy breezy time or situation, and I know why now. So before I get into that, I just want to tell you about a couple things. So right now I'm offering a discount on my 1-month coaching package. So if you're interested in getting one-to-one support, you can use the code BABYMAMA, actually spelled correctly, BABYMAMA. I realized I spelled it like randomly wrong the first time, but I changed the coupon code. It's in all caps. So if you are anywhere on the spectrum of wanting to get pregnant, preparing your body for pregnancy, you are pregnant, you're postpartum, and you need some love and you need some support with taking care of yourself and your food, nutrition, just support because this is hard, right? Then you can check that out and use the code at checkout. Okay. So it's like a 3-package deal that you use in a month. So we get you on track and moving and you know what to do and you have clarity and you are supported. Okay. Now let's talk about what happened postpartum. Okay. Now it's really important, you guys, that you understand how important the consistency that you consume carbohydrates are in your diet, like ASAP. If you aren't pregnant yet, watch day 1 again. It's so critical. But there's more to it. Okay. So we can only do the best that we can do. And we need to not be hard on ourselves or try to be perfect, and just look at how does our body work and what is really being asked of us when we are going through this pregnancy journey, and how can we really, really, really take good care of ourselves and put ourselves and our health as an utmost priority during this time, which is a very long time, right? So for me, it was a very, very long time because it took a long time to get pregnant, but it actually went really fast once I learned what I needed to know. And then, when you are growing the baby, it's a lot of required energy. And what I didn't really understand was that I needed to take a step back even more from the demands that my body was going through. Okay. So I and a person that strives to do more, to be more, and just expand. And so what the hardest part for me during pregnancy was that I felt like I was slowed down, especially around things with health and especially around things with my body, because this isn't like the best idea, but one of my struggles in life has been thinking that I needed to be in the best shape, to look a certain way, to keep my body looking a certain way so that I had worth and value, especially being a health coach, right? Because it's sort of the message, what's going on with your health, it shows on the outside, right? But going through pregnancy is a whole new game, and you're going to gain weight. Things are going to change. You can't go running like you used to every day. I mean, maybe you can, but I couldn't. So it was just a different time. And obviously many lessons were learned. And I can link below the video I did about my anxiety and insomnia that happened when I was pregnant around my 2nd trimester. And that really threw me for a loop, because I always had this identity of being a completely healthy person, and I never struggled with anxiety before. And it was just very foreign. I've never had insomnia. So just not waking up, feeling great, going to bed every night, almost afraid of what was going to happen, and not being able to sleep was really, really hard. And so here's what I want you guys to get, though. The thing that really is going to create a baseline for you is your loving yourself through how you take care of yourself with food, in terms of like the physical functioning of your body while you're going through pregnancy. So like even before I was pregnant, I wasn't completely plant-based, and I wasn't planning to get pregnant. I just knew that I would at some point. And then Dash's energy created the like necessity for me to be completely plant-based when I was pregnant. And thank God for that, because I honestly think that if I hadn't been like that, I would have had an even harder time, because my body just needed it a lot at that moment. That was very long, 9 months. And it obviously needed more than I was able to give it in terms of support. But that's where you also have to see, like, you need mental and emotional support. You just really need to love on yourself super hard and let people help you all the time and all the way through. So after he was born, I sort of just expected to like become normal again. And that's not even a thing, but I just didn't. And I think I know the problem was that I wanted my body back more than anything, more than understanding that I just went through a hell of a ride. And especially with the ups and downs that I had with anxiety and such, that my body was actually very, very, very stressed out. And then going into post baby immediately with the mindset that I just have to get rid of this weight. Oh my God, I just want to feel and look like myself again. That was added pressure, right? Because that wasn't really the point of that period of time. And it's not to say that you can't easily release baby weight and you can't feel really good right away. But I was coming at it from this place of, I have to do this, or I'm not going to be happy otherwise. I have to have this, or I'm going to be pissed. I have to get back to how I feel in my body when I'm not pregnant, or like I'm just going to be mad about it, you know? And so basically my body said, nope, and you're going to learn this lesson and you're going to understand. And here's the thing, like me and God have going, is that I always have a strong desire for understanding and knowledge. And this probably is part of my human design. I'm a 5-1 profile, and the 1 line, you may or may not know, is very much an investigator energy, and we have to like figure everything out. When it's something that we want to know, that we are super engaged with, like for me, all things health, right? And how does this body work? And how do we create health when we have this and this and this condition? So I always have to know before I can come and tell you guys. I just have to know for sure. And so, you know, having Dalton was one thing, like healing my infertility was one thing, getting pregnant was another thing to have certainty in, and then going through pregnancy was another thing, and then postpartum is another thing. And now I'm like, okay, I get it. So it's definitely more than just the food, but the food is definitely a very strong baseline and through line for us. So here's what I can tell you. I definitely had postpartum depression. It was rough. There were so many ups and downs, and I literally disappeared from the internet for a very long time because I didn't feel normal. I didn't know how I was going to feel at any given time. And it was sort of like an out of body experience. And I would have really high highs and I would have really low lows. And I think that also could be exacerbated because I'm an emotional authority, but who knows? So, you know, there was a few people going through postpartum at the same time that I was, that were sharing their stories. And so I want to share mine as well because it just made me feel better to know that I wasn't alone. So I remember listening to Gabby Bernstein speak about her postpartum depression. And I remember, and I listened a lot to Lauren from the Skinny Confidential. And in fact, I think the Skinny Confidential podcast interviewed Gabby one time. So you can look all of those up if you want to. But, you know, super bright, intelligent women, healthy, you know, on purpose, taking care of their bodies the best that we all can. And it happened to them too. And I remember hearing Gabby say that she felt, you know, that this happened to her so that she could be a voice, because she has obviously a very strong leader in the spiritual community. And Lauren talked a lot about the difficulty with gaining so much weight and body image. And so like, I kind of really resonate with both situations. And yeah, I guess I thought that I would be immune to it. And I thought that I would just come back to life like normal, but you're not the same. You just aren't going to be the same. You shouldn't be the same, because now you're a mom with a baby on the outside of you here on earth, and your whole life is going to be changed forever and ever. So there were so many ups and downs. And what I wish I knew, let me talk to you about the food part right here. To prevent postpartum with your food, the best thing that you can do is take care of your dear sweet adrenal glands, okay? Like I always say, giving birth is the most intense process, whether you have an epidural or not and feel it or not, for a woman's body to go through. It takes so much energy. It takes so much work, because you're literally birthing a human into the world. It's like, what's happening? And on the physical front, it's how strong are your adrenals that they can manage that and handle that, but also knowing that it's still going to be work for them, and that we really, really want to make life easier for ourselves during the pregnancy. That's why I keep saying like carbs, glucose, carbs, glucose, carbs, glucose. And the reason for this, you guys, is that your adrenals require constant glucose supply. Your adrenals are the ones that help you respond to everything stressful in life, not just bad stress, good stress. They help you respond to like temperature change. They help you respond to something very exciting. They help you respond to being afraid, to being like, if you jump, if there's a sound, if the car gets too close to your car, or, you know, anything. And they are the ones that help us deal with chronic stress. And chronic stress is actually the hardest thing on our body. And so it's really having practices in place, not just food, but like mindfulness practices, meditation, anything you can do that makes you feel relief, because health comes from the state of relief. That's like the core of it. Healing anything, you must feel relief before the healing will come. And so that comes with knowledge and certainty. That's why I'm a huge thing. I have a huge passion for education and teaching, and making how the body functions very like common and understandable. But we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to like fuel the adrenals over and over and over with consistent glucose, because if we don't, and if we stay in the mindset that we need to eat high fat, high protein, low carb, especially when pregnant or before or after, your body's going to like basically be starving its adrenal glands, and they're not going to be happy. Okay. So you're just going to be more susceptible to these postpartum conditions, which can be depression, anxiety, fearfulness states, insomnia again, because those symptoms are coming from adrenal health. And it's really not that complicated, but like you have to like feed the body. So when you're pregnant, I would treat pregnancy like you were feeding your adrenals. Like if you had adrenal fatigue, like you're just wanting to prevent adrenal fatigue. And you do that by having mineral salts and by having healthy forms of glucose. So it's like combining fruits and vegetables together, and like celery and cucumbers with pears and dates and figs, those kind of things. And constantly getting it in every few hours, right? Obviously, don't eat if you're completely not hungry, but it's maintenance and it's prevention. And so I really don't think that I ever fully relaxed when I was pregnant, because it's not my personality, but who cares? Like, if I was ever pregnant again, and if you are right now or you want to be at some time soon, I would say stop pushing your body. Stop pushing it. Let it be. Love it. Take care of it. Just nourish it and nourish the baby, because I know what happened and why I was so susceptible to getting postpartum was because I never let go. I never turned anything off. I never turned my mind off. I never turned my expectations off. I never turned my like wanting to be better and better off, and realized, and this is a huge lesson, to be present right now, even if you're not pregnant. You have to be okay right now. You have to be satisfied. You have to find satisfaction. You have to like give up control. And I had someone tell me, this is funny. I had someone tell me that my infertility issues were linked to control issues. And I'm like, well, duh. I know that, but I also know the place of food, and I also know the place of toxins, and I also know the place of the body needs to be primed and prepped. So when you combine the mind and the body together, you are clear to like access health and create healings and changes very simply and easily, right? But it is true, like we have to learn to trust our bodies. We have to learn by knowing what are they asking us, especially in these different phases of life. How can we be the sidekick, like the best friend, the advocate of the body? And so if you want to keep yourself stronger and healthier and in an expectation that you don't need to snap back or bounce back after you have the baby, but just to feel well and to feel good and to know that you aren't going to crash, then there's things to put in place. And so again, this is why I'm doing these videos right now about being plant-based and pregnant, because I want to help you guys not have what happened to me happen to you, and to really advocate for you to take care of yourselves. And whether that means getting support with your family, your spouse, your friends, a coach, definitely knowing how to take care of your body and consistently fuel it with foods that are going to help these adrenal glands be so strong and not let them starve, then you need to do that. You deserve to do that. You deserve to have that support, because you can prevent so much of this. You can. And with confidence in knowing how the body has these higher needs during pregnancy and post-pregnancy, you can feel really good about how you're taking care of yourself, and also just let yourself be pregnant and let yourself create this miracle that you are creating, or you want to be creating, or you did create. So a little bit more about like the science part of postpartum anxiety, depression loops and waves is, if your adrenal glands go too long without having the right kind of glucose in the blood, it has to be in the bloodstream. Okay. It has to be accessible. So if you're a person that has been eating keto or paleo, like low carb, for whatever reason, or you will wear down the glycogen stores in your liver. So glucose in excess will be stored in the liver as glycogen. And then if your body is running low, then the liver will give it back. It will give back those glycogen stores to use back as glucose. But if you run out of it, then you run out of it. And so what has to happen is your adrenal glands have to create their own energy. And so they keep being like activated when there's nothing there to give them love and fuel and nourishment, which is that glucose from fruits and starches and the carbohydrates and vegetables. And they don't have that, they're going to still be activated. And that's going to cause the body to release stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. And adrenaline and cortisol are like acid in the body. And the body, in order to be healthy, has to be in a calm state. We need your central nervous system to be regulated and calm. And that's the sense of relief that I was talking about, and this sense of peace. And so what's really cool about food and being plant-based is like, it just makes it easier for you to not only regulate your physical self and your physical cells, but it makes it easier to regulate your mind. And we know that the body follows the mind, but I always say you do the food first. You do the food first. You take care of the body with the food first. And why is that? Because your mind is still within this physical body. And if you want to create differently with your mind, if you want to create anything, whether it's changes in your health, whether it's calling in a baby, a healthy pregnancy, healthy post-pregnancy, a different job, anything you want to put into creation, you have to come from a place of centered, peaceful calmness so that you can hold the new creation. You have to hold it, right? And this is why it's so cool how the mind and body are connected. But this is why sometimes women won't get pregnant for a period of time, because it's literally not safe for the body. The body knows I am going to need this much energy to get pregnant, hold a pregnancy for this long, and for this woman to give birth safely. And if you don't have that, if the body knows it's not currently strong enough to do that for whatever reasons, whether they're mental, emotional, physical, then it won't let you get pregnant, because it doesn't want you to suffer, and it also doesn't want you to die during the delivery process. That's how critical adrenal health is. So sometimes we're just not ready yet. And I know this was true for me. I wasn't ready. My body wasn't ready. My mind wasn't ready. I was in fear. I was scared. I had to get to a place of calmness and peace with the idea of being pregnant and all of it. And you can create a strong hold of this with a very, very nourished, healthy body, because when you have adequate glucose constantly supplied to the adrenals, then you are also going to have a calm, cool, collected central nervous system, okay? And that's what you have to have so that you can then kind of like understand, what am I thinking? What has been going on in my life, in my mind, and my thoughts and my feelings? And do you want to keep it like that or not? But when the body is in this static, acidic, like anxious state, nothing makes sense. And that's what happened to me. So there's no like, you didn't eat perfectly enough, so you got postpartum such thing. That's not it. All I'm saying is we have a lot of power in prevention. And when we are coming from this ownership of, I want to take care of my health in every single way possible, and I know this and this and this, and so I'm going to do this and this and this, then it's going to give you a lot of peace, because you're going to know that you're doing things that are going to matter and really support yourself. So I just had too much pressure the whole time, too much pressure on myself immediately after having Dash. Like, I think I literally took 3 days off from working out, and then I was walking on my treadmill or walking outside, and it just was too much. And so the blessing in this is that I went through months, even like a full year, I would say, of a lot of inflammation in my body, because my body's like, dude, you aren't listening to me. You're not listening to me. I don't need to be pushing anymore. I need to be soothed. I need to be taken care of. And so there were a few months when I would get really fed up because I hadn't lost all of the weight from pregnancy. I gained almost 40 pounds, which was, I don't know, it is what it is, but it was like way more than I thought I would. And it's like it just wouldn't come all the way off. Like, a lot of it came off, but it wouldn't. And I was just like pissed about it and angry. And so I would get in these mindsets of, well, I'm just going to make it happen. And I'm going to do what I always have done. Like with that attitude, like I'm going to make you change body and force you to get rid of this weight. And the only way I knew how to do that was, it's so ridiculous because like here I have always been talking about plant-based, but like there was still a part of me that didn't think that it would work for weight loss. So I reverted back to doing like wild caught fish and some organic turkey and like all my vegetables and like lots of fruit. Like I never stopped doing that. I've never since like understanding more about food have I like thought in any form that fruit was wrong or bad. So I always have that. So that at least I had going for me. But I did go into eating like turkey burgers and shrimp and salmon and all these things. And it wasn't working. And in fact, I felt so inflamed. And I can tell in my body when I'm inflamed because listen to this. Here's a couple things that happen. Randomly, my husband would make grass-fed burgers, and I probably ate 3 since having Dash. But every single time that I did, within like 10 minutes, I would have a hot flash of eating red meat. Like my feet would burn and tingle. And that happened quite a bit to me post-baby. I would have really hot feet, tingling sensations, those are signs, you guys, of your nervous system being heated, overheated, and really hot. And so the remedy is to cool it down, which you do with high glucose foods. And so my body was in such a state of like, like I'm already in a deficit. What the hell are you doing? And so it was just like showing me your body's always talking to you. So however you're feeling right now, if you feel inflamed, if you feel bloated, if you feel like sluggish, like those are messages. Like, and this is like the theme that I wanted to speak to you about, which is if things aren't changing, then something has to change because you can't just keep repeating old things and think that they're going to work. And what's true is that we've been conditioned to believe that eating animal products and low carb is the answer to everything, when actually it's the answer to nothing. And so even for weight loss, especially for weight loss, because weight loss, one of the huge areas that weight loss comes from is healthy adrenal glands. And so you better believe if you're post-baby and you aren't losing weight or you feel inflamed or you've got a thyroid thing going on, that you need to nourish your adrenals and you need to calm, cool, and soothe your entire body and your entire system down. And that's literally what everybody's body needs when it's inflamed. So I was noticing like these hot feet, hot flashes. I would have the doors open in the winter, the spring, even if it was cold out. I would like our air conditioner was turned way, way down when usually I would be like cold all the time. And what else? Oh, my arms. So like I've always had pretty toned, thin arms since like doing Pilates and like the way that I eat and ate. And my arms felt like they were bigger, and my waist, which I also never had problems with, like my waist, like the only place I would carry weight would be like my hips and thighs. So it was more places than that. And I was like, what is happening? So I tried all these things. Like I'm taking thyroid supplements. I'm going to do low carb protein. And what it did was made me feel way worse. And so finally I just had this breakdown moment where I said, okay, God, I want to understand and I want to know and I want to love myself through this so I can help other women. Okay. So you guys, my body is the guinea pig. So now I can help you get pregnant, have a healthy pregnancy, and have a healthy post-pregnancy. So there you go. There's the blessing in all of this. And I feel way better than I ever have and so happy that I have the certainty now. So, and here's a huge tip too for creation. I didn't know what to do. Because I would flip-flop between like no animal products to like being like, oh, I need to do it, then feel worse, and then do it a little. And I'm like, what am I missing here? And what I didn't get was that like you have to go all in. You have to go all in with your mind, and your food will follow that. So I didn't have a plan. And this is literally how I did how I changed my energy when I was doing IVF and it kept not working. And I was like, okay, I quit. And then all the information flooded in and all the awareness came in. So I was like, I quit. I don't know. So I would just write in my journal, I was scripting, and I was sitting in meditation with the feeling of, I feel amazing. I feel better and better. I know how this works. I know how every single thing in my body works. I know how to release this weight with truth and love. And that's what I did. And then the clarity came in, which is like, I just had to take better care of my energy. I had to take better care of my adrenal glands. And, it's like you either believe it all the way or you don't. So, how could eating plant-based be the answer for infertility, for digestive problems, for skin problems, for like all the things, and not also be the solution for healthy weight loss? It is. So, there were a few changes that I had to make, and that was like really upping carbs even more and dropping all the animal products, all of it, dropping the fat way down. And that's the key, you guys. So your body needs simplicity and it needs whole foods. So we don't need to be doing tons of crazy things. It's always food first. And the food will help you to regulate, and the food will help you to calm down, and the food will help you to regain energy. And it's such a beautiful thing because it just takes care of itself. So if things aren't working, nothing's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you at all. So I've so been there. I thought, oh my gosh, what is the matter with me? And it's just the mind trying to figure things out. And you can't figure things out. You have to go to the place of, no, it's okay. I'm going to have this. I'm going to feel good in my body again. And for women, that does come in a relationship to being a certain weight and size. Not that like it doesn't have to be a number, because I don't weigh myself and I never did at all postpartum. It's just like knowing your body and knowing if it's holding on to things or not. And so, yeah, it can be holding on to emotions, holding on to thoughts that are limiting, right? Like that was a limiting thought. Something's wrong with me. What's the matter with me? Why isn't this working? But you can always stop and ask yourself, what might I be needing to know from this? What could be the beautiful lesson in this? And so the beautiful lesson in it for me was like, it's really so simple. You can go all the way plant-based. You don't have to have anything else at all. You're completely safe in it. You're completely fine. And the body will do this for you. You'll feel better than ever, and it will be easy. So I want to say this to any women out there who are struggling and thinking it's hard. If you are finding it hard to heal anything, if you're finding it hard to get rid of gut issues or skin issues or low energy issues or weight issues, stop pushing. That's not the way that it is. The way that it is that your body does it for you. And what that feels like is ease. And what that feels like is, oh my gosh, I love this. And it feels like, I can't believe I get to eat this and eat all of this. And I get to just not even worry. And it's just happening for me. That's how health is supposed to be. And so, after I realized that, like my energy levels all came back, my clarity came back, and in like less than a week and a half, I saw the weight falling off. And I always wanted to know like what those people were talking about when they said like the weight just fell off, because that's alignment, that's truth. That's when that's how it's supposed to be, you guys. We're not supposed to struggle. We're not supposed to battle. We're not supposed to fight the body we live in. Not at all. We're supposed to advocate for it. We're supposed to nourish it. We're supposed to love it. And the best way that you can love your body is to give it foods that are real. Nothing packaged or processed or fried or, man-made, besides farmers that grow real food. It's real food. It's so simple. And it's crazy insane how there's so much marketing and there's so much information that makes this hard, when you really just need fruits, vegetables, gluten-free grains, some flavors, and that's it. That's it. You don't need anything else. And that's where you're going to find the ease. That's where you're going to find the effortlessness. And like, I was there for a while in that battle of, you know, where's the place of meat? Why are people eating meat? And I don't know, other than like profit margins, it's industry, it's sales, but you don't need it. I know that for sure. And I know that I feel better than ever without it. So that was a little bit of a long live stream, but and so I can't stress enough, take care of your body, take care of your adrenals, just love on your body, give it all the plants that you want. Eat the carbs, eat the fruit, eat the potatoes, eat the rice, eat the quinoa, eat the buckwheat, eat the oatmeal, flavor it up, make it delicious, and let it work for you. Let it work for you, okay? So if you want any help with creating structure around this, helping the body to come back to life, it always will, and it happens so fast. So again, if it's not working, there's just something you have to shift, because the body works so fast, instantly, right? Every time you put food in, you're coding it. So Baby Mama's the discount code for the 1 month package. If you're interested in other packages, they're down there too. And oh yeah, I'm also doing a 21-day reset called Flush the Fat. So this is going to be a digital product that I put out, and I wanted to take some people through it live. So it's a super good deal. It's $111. If you do the 1 month package, you obviously get to do this as well. And just send me a DM on Instagram if you're interested in that. And we're going to start in about a week. So it's plant-based eating to release fat effortlessly and eat as much as you want. Real stuff. Okay. If you like this video, hit the like button, click the bell icon so you're notified of my other videos, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.